Hey guys, Mike Karpenko, and today I've got Rachel Tonic with me. I get a lot of inquiries in my inbox about how to increase performance. Well, let me tell you, one of the biggest things you need to concentrate on is glutes and hips. So today what we're gonna do is we're gonna concentrate on activation, stability, storing and accessing the power in your hips. So Rachel, we're gonna take a 3-exercise complex. Your first exercise is the glute bridge. It's going to activate the glutes and stabilize the hips. Rachel's gonna come down into glute bridge position. So come in here. I want you to see that Rachel's first move and your first move is gonna be to pull the belly button into the spine. That's gonna allow you to get rid of any space between you and the floor. So push that low back into the floor. From here, she's gonna pull her heels back towards her butt. Then you're gonna lift your toes up towards your shins. There you go, nice, Rachel. Now from here, she's going to lift her hips into the air, creating a nice line between her knee and her shoulder. She's gonna hold strong for 2 to 3 seconds, and then she's gonna lower. But before she lowers, what I want you to consider here is not to create an arch in your back. You're only gonna lower the hip right here. So drop down so that the back sits flush again onto the ground. You're gonna repeat that for 10 reps. There you go. At the top, give it a little extra squeeze onto the butt. Pull the heels in, and down. This is not a fast exercise. This is an exercise you do for quality. This is not a fast exercise. This is an activation. Once you've done 10 reps of this, I want you to stand up. And what we're gonna go into now is called the drop squat. A drop squat is a hip stabilization and a stored energy exercise. So what you're gonna do here is that you're gonna think of 3 things actually. Let's go to this and think of 3 things. You're gonna think of drop, squat, and stop. So all 3 of those things have very distinct movements. So you're gonna begin right here with Rachel. You're gonna begin with your hands up. So they're gonna come up here. You're gonna relax those hands just a little bit. What she's gonna do is that she's going to drop her hands, and as she drops her hands, she's gonna go into a squat, and then she's going to stop. Okay, stand back up for me, Rachel. So Rachel's gonna make this movement quickly. So drop. She's gonna stick that. Did you see how little bit of hesitation on her landing? But what I want you to do is really nail that landing. And what causes that is her knees are coming in. So at the bottom, you're gonna drive your knees out. See that? So I want you to remember, there's a little instability there. So drive the knees out at the bottom. So let's go back up at the top, hands up. So we're gonna think drop, we're gonna think squat, and then we're gonna think stop. So as Rachel's hands come down, knees outward. There you go. One more time. So on this time, I want you to think this too. As she drops and squats, her feet come off the ground. Notice that. She releases and comes back out. And one more time. So on this time at home, think of this. When you do it at home, think that I'm standing here and you're gonna drive that knee into my hand. Are you ready? Stand up and release. Drop and squat. Stop. There you go. Feel the stabilization? Much different. So there is an exercise that's gonna allow you to store energy. Next up is a continuous squat. This is where you're gonna access and release the stored power from the previous exercise of the drop squat. So what you're gonna do here is you're gonna start with your hands above your head, okay? Your chest is gonna be out, you're gonna be in neutral spine. So you're gonna drive your knees slightly outward to activate the glutes. And you're gonna lower into a squat by pushing your hips backwards. From here, you're gonna accelerate. This is the key. You're going to accelerate not from your feet. You're going to accelerate by pushing your hips upward and forward into extension. Let me see it, Rachel. Boom. Back up. So hold off, Rach. Hold off. So stand up for me. So what's gonna happen here is that Rachel is going to do that continuous motion. I'm gonna show you her feet position so you can figure out your landing, which is big and key with a jump squat. So Rachel, as you lower, come down. As Rachel lowers, and now she's going to go into extension, she's going to push her hips forward And as she pushes her hips forward, her feet are not going to point. Her feet are going to flex actually as she's in midair to prepare for landing. Okay? As she lands, she's going to hit the depth of her squat and repeat immediately going into extension. So let's see that, Rachel. Ready? She's going to come up, back down, and up. Watch her feet. Ready? Her feet don't point. Go. Repeat. Just as soon as you hit the bottom, come back up. As soon as you, there it is. Boom. And that's how you're going to create endurance power. You're going to do all 3 of these exercises for 10 reps, 3 sets total. That's going to create your performance to get the results that you want with your fitness.